1172 sees no less than 5 titles on the line, including the long-awaited super fight. Japan's own Takeru Segawa comes up against the Iron Man himself in a kickboxing clash for the ages. This is the 1172 preview show on Fighting with Friends. Welcome back to Fighting with Friends, the undisputed African fighting podcast, champion of the world. 1172 takes place this Sunday, March 23rd at 9 a.m. South African time from the Super Saitama Arena in Saitama, Japan. And with me today, ladies and gentlemen, breaking down the card is the reigning, defending, undisputed vegan champion of the world. That is, of course, Brother Gaia.
Yo, Eddie, what an intro, bro. What an intro.
Power,
Payday's
bro.
coming. Payday's coming soon.
It's an absolutely massive card, bro. You can probably understand why I am so hyped for it.
Indeed.
But it is 1172 BG, and as always, we start
At the top of the card.
at the
Oh,
top of the
massive.
card. We see the Iron Man, Rodtang, former flyweight Muay Thai champion, record in 116 and 2. Excuse me, last time beat Jacob Smith by unanimous decision. Of course, missing weight in that fight. Hopefully, that
Mm-hmm.
won't be a factor in this one. But he's coming up against Japanese royalty, the only three-weight K1 kickboxing world champion, Takeru Segawa, record in 1-1-0, last fight beating Tanzan by KO with that vicious teep kick to the solar plexus. So BG, it's finally here, bro. It's
Yeah.
finally here. We
Yo,
are
super hype.
absolutely like kids on Christmas, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
But BG, take us away here, bro. How's this one gonna play out?
You are absolutely right. It's finally here. The fight will be official after the hydration and weigh-ins 2 days from now. Hopefully, both these athletes can make weight. And we know for sure, that this fight can no longer be disrupted by anything. It's going to happen. Hopefully, I'm praying that more so for Rodtang makes the weight. But yeah, you said it, kids on Christmas. I am torn, to be honest with you, because Rodtang is the exact fighter that brought me to the One Championship. He was the first fighter I've watched when it comes to One Championship. He's the reason why I became a big fan of the sport. I know you know, going back many years, at least 2019, I was talking about Rodtang then already, making you watch fights whenever you came over to me, make you watch this guy fight. And when I first saw Takeru, I was like, oh my word, this could be the exact guy that could dethrone the likes of Rodtang, the likes of Superlek. This is the kind of style, and that's why I'm torn, because I'm a fan of both these guys, and it's hard for me to pick one, and it's making me difficult to put this preview together because of that reason. It's hard for me to choose an athlete here, but if I must break it down to X's and O's as to how I think this fight's going to play out, I mean, you gave a good build up for both these guys. Um, how I think the fight would play out, it's a matter of who's going to be the most durable here. Is going to be the one that's going to win, to be honest with you. And I think Rodtang may just be the more durable fighter here. That's funny to say, because if you watch Sagawa, he doesn't really get knocked out. Takeru usually loses on points, or he's also quite extremely durable. He can go all the distance, um, just like Rodtang can. And Rodtang, when he's lost, did come in the hands of Superlek. We saw that loss, and it was Superlek overwhelmed him and just made sure he was going backwards the whole time. It was a Muay Thai fight. But what Superlek did show in that fight to beat Rodtang was to be very active. Keep him quite often, leg kick him a lot. If you leg kick him a lot, he's not going to leg kick you. So you're occupying his legs quite often, which forces Rodtang to fight with the hands, which is not ideally what he wants to do. Another big factor in this fight is it's kickboxing. So therefore, one of Rodtang's best weapons has been taken away, and that is the elbows and also clinch knees. Doesn't really use a lot of clinch knees, Rodtang, but he does use a lot of elbows, and that's been taken away. So, and also it's bigger gloves. Is the power going to carry over the same way he does in Muay Thai? He doesn't have that many knockout wins in the One Championship. This is Rodtang now, but I mean, he overwhelms his opponents, which has been ultimately the most durable guy. And whatever they throw at him, he throws back tenfold. But Takeru does the one thing a lot of those athletes that he fought in the past don't do, which is what Superlek also didn't do, is, like you said, the monster teep kick. It's a powerful weapon that a lot of Japanese athletes are using, and now a lot of them are actually being successful in the One Championship is by teep kicking the Thai fighters to oblivion. They don't know how to check it. They don't know how to get away from it, because it doesn't come in the same way the traditional teep kick goes. Even in terms of a karate teep kick or a Muay Thai teep kick, it's not the same thing. Takeru throws it in a way that it's almost hidden behind a roundhouse movement. So it looks like he's going to kick high, but he doesn't. And he goes to the solar plexus. And I feel like that may be the key factor in actually stopping Rodtang here. Um, Rodtang on the other hand, excuse me, he's got the power. He's the key for him to be the victory is to actually stay very close in the void, pretty much make Takeru fight in the very close quarters with him and utilize his, I think, power advantage over Takeru. Because Tanzin was able to drop Takeru with a very nice 1-2 left combo. And I think Rodtang can do that even better than Tanzin. It's just a matter of him getting in. And Takeru, he's not scared of that. I just watched his breakdown on Mighty Mouse's page of Takeru. And one thing he pointed out in that fight, which I thought was quite interesting, is that Takeru doesn't stay out of the void. He actually goes in all the time. He doesn't fight outside of the distance. He loves being close up, and that's just what he does. And I think it's going to be a battle of two bulls here. And I think the one who's going to be the matador is probably going to be the one that wins the fight, just a matter of who does it. I mean, they are in Japan. It's Takero's homegrown advantage. It's his backyard, So and also this is I'm not sure if Rotterdam is fasting. I think he is. So it is in Ramadan. Is that going to play a factor as well? Stylistically, both athletes can beat each other. I know Chatri said he's expecting a knockout in this fight. I don't know about a knockout. Maybe a knockdown. I've never seen Rodtang look remotely close to knocked out, other than when he fought Superlek and Superlek elbowed him over the head. That was and actually landed that knockdown, but that was like a flash knockdown. Rodtang got up immediately. We've seen Takeru get knocked down. Superlek kicked him to the point where he couldn't stand. Takeru doesn't check leg kicks that often, which could be an advantage for Rodtang. So yeah, just a lot of ways that this fight can go, and that makes it very tricky for me to give a definitive winner. If that
Mm.
that, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you make a lot of very good points there, BG. And yeah, both men are very durable. Rodtang is infamous for his durability.
Yeah.
So yeah, if it does come down to that, if it does, I
Mm.
would say that Rodtang does have the
You
advantage.
see?
But this is kickboxing, like you said,
Mm.
and this is kickboxing royalty. This is his game, and I think to your point, Rodtang does lose a lot when you take the elbows out of the game. It
Yes.
is just limiting in terms of he's not able to use his full arsenal. So
You see?
based on that, I'm gonna go with Takeru to get this done over five
Mm.
rounds.
Yeah.
That's the call I'm making. I
Yeah.
know you said
I
it's
can see it.
difficult to give a pick here, BG.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's where I am at the moment. So is there any chance I could make you choose a winner
Convince
here?
me.
Yeah.
When I weigh out, like anything in life, when you weigh out pros and cons, you have to go with the decision that has more pros, right? And in this fight, there are a little bit more pros to Takeru than there are to Rodtang. Another thing that you mentioned, to add to him not using Rodtang not using his elbows. Another thing where I see him lose fights, or I see him go get behind scorecards, is when he's not as active as the other opponent. Superlek was way more active than Rodtang when they fought each other. Like he didn't give Rodtang a chance really. Rodtang would throw something, Superlek would throw back three. I think Takeru, his output is a little bit more than Rodtang's as well. Rodtang does have a tendency to throw a 1-2, maybe a three punch combo. And that three punch would include a 1-2 and a kick at the end of it. But he's throwing so much heat, he throws one at a time. Wah, 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 wah. He doesn't go like Takeru where it's like he's flowing a whole bunch of stuff at you. And I think Rodtang can also lose on the scorecards by being less active than Takeru, and I think Takeru is going to move around quite often, which will force Rodtang to make it a dogfight. I think he's
Yeah.
used to victory has to be a dogfight here. If he's gonna stand and take pictures with Takeru, I think he's going to lose the fight on points.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's an excellent point again, BG. Because the Muay Thai style is very kind of rhythmic and linear.
Yes,
And if you
yes.
get someone like Takeru who moves around so much, he's not going to let
Mm,
Rodtang settle into a rhythm. So that
mm.
might be a problem. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, let us know your thoughts on this one. BG, we could talk about this one for quite a while, but I'm going to ask you for final thoughts because we do have four other title fights to get to,
Yeah,
bruh, if you
yeah.
can believe that. So, final thoughts on this one, and then we'll keep it moving, please, sir.
Final thoughts for this one. I'll keep it nice and short. I'm gonna say Takeru is gonna win the fight purely based that this is a fight that he has announced to potentially be his last of his career. So I'm sure he's gonna want to go out in a bang. And because it's in Japan, it makes sense. The writing's on the wall for me. And yeah, I think Takeru is gonna go out here as the victor.
Massive, massive. So, we're both in the Takeru camp, but again, fascinating fight, and
Yeah,
definitely looking forward to this one.
yeah.
But okay, then BG, we'll keep it moving, and here we go to the featherweight division for an interim featherweight kickboxing world championship fight between Tawanchai and Masaaki Noiri. Tawanchai is 10-1-0 on a 9 fight streak in one championship. Last time out, beating Superbond by TKO. His hair perfect on the night, by the way. Coming up against Masaaki Noiri, whose record in one is 1-2-0 in one championship. He is a two-division K1 kickboxing champion, and he's beat Shakir Al Tekriti by a devastating low kick KO, according to the notes you've given me here,
Broke his
BG.
leg actually.
Sheesh. So
Yeah.
nothing to play with here. Nothing to play with at all. But yeah, BG Tawancha, of course, elite.
Yeah.
Showing last time out against Superbond. Really great performance. Looked absolutely clinical on the night. So does Mr. Noiri have anything here for him, bro?
Mhm. Yeah, I want to say yes. But I've seen so much of Tawanchai, and I've watched Noiri's fights in the one championship, all of it actually, and he's lost two of the three that he's fought. We win in his last fight, and obviously one came over devastating Loki, as per notes. But yeah, the first two fights, I wasn't impressed with what I was seeing from him, especially because he came to the one championship with all these credentials. Like the dude is a killer outside of the one championship. I mean, you said it yourself, two division K1 champion, and there's no reason. There's a reason why they've been advertising this, promoting this card with Noiri as the co-main event. They could have given that one try someone else, like a Gordon, for example, who is fighting on this card, and he's also been on the streak. But they gave it to Noiri for a reason. I mean, that devastating no kick, and also with kickboxing royalty, and the fact that Tawanchai wants to go for kickboxing title. This is the next best guy to fight because he already beat Superbond, right? I am hyped for it. I think Noiri possesses a lot of power. He's very powerful in the way he strikes. Like he probably hits harder than Tawanchai, kicks harder than Tawanchai, but ever so slight, right? Tawanchai is a massive fan favorite for a reason. Jed's favorite for a reason as well. If you look at his fights, he also has a low kick finish to like Noiri to his name. On top of that, he also has a finish where he kicked an athlete into the forearm, broke his forearm from a body kick. So Tawanchai is no stranger to doing the same kind of finishes. And what I like about Tawanchai, he has something that a lot of the type fighters don't have, unlike the elite like Superlek, Nabil and Rodtang them, is that he can box. He can throw straights, he can defend boxing combinations, and he's really good at it. He doesn't hit to the body that much, which I want to see him actually utilize that more. And I think Noiri does hit to the body really well. Got a good combination to the body. Tawanchai doesn't attack the body in the same way I would like to see him use. He's very good with tipping, very good with low kicks, very good with high kicks, very good at counter striking as well. But I don't ever really see him utilize the torso. He targets the torso. I think if he can do something like that, he can definitely win this fight. But I think Tawanchai is going to have to be very careful in the opening stages of this fight, because that's when Masaaki and Noiri is very, very dangerous. Um,
Mm.
do I give Noiri the chance? I do, especially at home, especially because he knows what it's like to be a champion. He's tasted that realm more than once, and he's durable. He hasn't been finished in the one championship. He can take shots. He fought Chai to a very close battle, and Chai is also royalty when it comes to kickboxing and Muay Thai coming out to the one championship. He fought into a very close battle, and Noiri, I think, I want to say
Oh, did we lose BG?
he can be
It
too
looks like
Mr. Chai.
oh, BG, you are back.
Sorry, I just stopped there. Internet just
Uh,
completely. I thought my router went off,
yeah, I thought so too.
but
No
it didn't go
worries.
off. But I'm back. So yeah, what I was saying was I was going to say that I think Noiri might have the durability to withstand some of what Chai stuff. But that on second thought, I've watched so much of Chai, and he's a devastating striker, and it's hard to bet against him. It's just very difficult to bet against the guy, especially in the way that he finished up one in his last fight. He indicated to me that he does his homework. Chai, when he puts up one, he said, "I know there's a hard kicker. I know he's got good boxing, so I'm going to have to counter that by being a little bit faster and not as I don't know what's the word, complacent. I need to actually be in there with him as much as I can." That tells me that he was taking notes of his opponent. And in this fight, in the press conference, Tawanchai did say, "I know he's got a very hard low kick. I know he has very good boxing. He's slightly taller than me, so I'm gonna have to be very wary of those three weapons." So Tawanchai is probably game planning something here. We could see another win for Tawanchai, and I think I'm
Mm,
gonna go
I'm
with that.
I'm personally thinking so. I'm thinking that at the end of this fight, we're gonna get a picture much like the one that you have on screen here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you do have any thoughts on this one, ladies and gentlemen, please let us know in the comments. And yeah, this is of course a very exciting division in general, the
Mm,
featherweight Muay Thai.
mm,
So yeah, looking forward to this fight and just the Muay Thai, the featherweight division in general. But BG, any final thoughts
mm.
on this one before we go?
Yeah, it is in kickboxing, but this is with Tawanchai. He tends to utilize more kicks than punching. But he's gonna have to be careful because I expect Noiri to actually walk him down in the beginning stages and make it a bit of a phone booth kind of fight. That's Noiri's style. He's a Kyokushin black belt. They love to fight chest to chest. That's just the style. I mean, I know this the discipline because I trained it, and I know what it's like to fight in that close quarters. So I expect Tawanchai to fight a lot of the fight off the counter striking positions, and he's good at that. He's very good at that. So I think we're going to see Tawanchai win the fight by masterful counter striking.
Nicely done, BG. Nicely done. Okay, and from royalty we go to more royalty here, BG. And this one is not a kickboxing fight. This one is in fact Muay Thai. So the knees and elbows will be legal in this one. And here we see the king of kings, really, bro. We have Superlek coming up against Nabil Anane, and I'm very excited for this one. Superlek bantamweight, Muay Thai, and flyweight kickboxing champion.
Yeah.
15 1-0 on an 11 fight streak. Of course, the last time devastating Jonathan Haggerty with that elbow that will live in infamy for the rest of time. I think
Yeah.
coming up against the prospect here, the guy that we were all very excited about,
Mm,
Nabil Anani. 6 1-0 in the one championship. He's on a 6 fight streak. This is, of course, a rematch. The
yeah.
only one loss that Anani has in the one championship did, of course, come to Superlek, who
Mhm.
finished him on the night. So, BG, much of the same for the rematch, or do you think Anan has evolved sufficiently to dethrone the champion here, bro?
Mm. Yeah, good question. I don't know if it's gonna be the same outcome like we did it, like we saw it in the first fight. I think Anana has definitely grown exponentially since that fight. I mean, he's still very young, he's only 20 years old, but I mean, he was much younger because that was what 3 years, 2 years ago, 2 years ago, I think. So I mean, he was a child essentially, and he's grown in more into his body right now. And the fight, if you watch that fight very back, watch that fight back, you will notice how nervous Nabil actually looked in that fight. He looked very uncomfortable, and Super looked like he had a lot of fun with it. Super looked like he was intrigued by the matchup. He was like, "Oh, 6'4", this is gonna be fun for me
Yeah,
to try and compete against." He looked amped for that matchup, and he does for this fight as well. But I think this time it's gonna be different. I think Anand has grown big enough for me to actually see this fight go a lot more competitive. We might even see Super in deep waters here. Because what I noticed from Anand is he doesn't look scared. He looks very, very comfortable in his frame right now. He looks like he's composed and happy to be in the cage now. He doesn't look like he's discouraged by the occasions like he was when he was fighting that fight. I mean, that was his first fight in one championship was against Superlek. You know what I mean? So you can imagine that there was a lot of jitters since then. And after that, he went on there, bro, beating all the top contenders, all of
yeah,
them. You know what I mean? Kulapdam, Lobo, the Cockerillo. He's taken out the guys who are in the top five, in the top echelon of this division. So yeah, I'm excited to see this matchup, and I think again, Superlek did the right thing to beat someone with this length, and that is to take away the base. He took away Nabil's legs essentially that he wasn't able to actually use them anymore, and I think that's the key to victory here because Nabil's striking with his hands are phenomenal. He tends to throw a lot of 1-2s, hits the body, counter elbows when he steps back. But Superlek is not going to put himself in that kind of position. He's like you said, he's the king of kings. And you watch Superlek fight, he, he finds ways to beat people in a way that like, oh, did he do that? Like, oh, where did he go and fetch that from?
yeah,
Superlek is just that good. He's just like okay, he knocked that Agadi. Like no one
exactly.
all thought he was going to do that, and he did it. You know what I mean? So, and also the way he fought. If you look at the fight against Superlek and Takeru, Superlek is just the way he twitches, the way he flows through that twitch movements. It's a second to none. It's absolutely second to none in the one championship, and I'm gonna have to go with Superlek again. As much as I'm a Nabil fan through and through, and I think he's in the position here to really like shift the game into his favor. Superlek's only 29 years old. He's not washed out. The dude's elite of elite. He's looking to really like reign this one championship for another 3-4 years, maybe even longer than that. And yeah, I haven't seen someone yet fight Superlek other than what's his name, Ilyas Anahachi. He was the only one to beat Superlek. He beat Superlek in points. by just outpointing him and out being more active and making Superlek miss a lot. I don't know if
Mm.
Nabil can do that. I think Superlek is going to take out his legs again. If Nabil doesn't find a way around that, if he doesn't make it a dogfight from the beginning and actually make Superlek fight with the back foot and use his length, abuse it, deep the fuck out of Superlek, make him not want to be in there with you, make it very difficult for him. Um, yeah, and I can see it. I can see him actually winning the fight. But yeah, Superlek's no one's able to get past the kicking machine, and I think we're going to see it again.
Yeah, give thanks, PG, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, let us your thoughts in the comments on this one. But yeah, bro, Nabil Anand, bro. I mean, the first thing that strikes you when you look at him is the height, of course, and
Yeah,
that is such a puzzle to negotiate. But again, I just think because Super League has figured the puzzle out previously,
yeah,
I don't think again Anand has improved leaps and bounds since his debut. Leaps and bounds, man. No,
yeah,
no, nobody can argue against that. But um, I just think that the only real advantage that he will have against Super League is his height. Technically
yeah.
speaking, he's not gonna out technique him.
Mm,
He's not gonna
mm,
out dog him. If
mm.
anything, Super League might scare this man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
By showing because he's only 19 years old, bro. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah,
I don't see the height being a factor because Super League has cracked that puzzle. So again,
yeah,
I'm gonna go for a Super League win here.
yeah,
And yeah, big fan of Nabil, but yeah, I just think we say this so much on the show, but there's levels to the game, Brian.
yeah,
He's got a
yeah.
long way to grow, but if he does get it done, it's a massive, massive win for him, bro. That is like
Big ups.
blow up his whole career, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, very excited for that one. I think bar the main event, that's probably the one I'm most excited for.
Mm,
Um,
mhm.
but all right, PG, any final thoughts here on this one before we move?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna highlight what you just said. I think that was an amazing point. Superlek does have that aura about him. He does scare opponents. He does make you almost freeze up. If you look at a lot of his fights, the athletes when they get in there with him within the first minute or so, they go, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! What is this I'm fighting against?" And if you look at Superlek's face, the dude's hungry for the dude. When Rodtang cracked him open with that elbow, as you can see on screen there, and the blood was gushing down his head, he was like, and like he walked Rodtang down. I was like, what the hell is going on here? But and I thought he was going to lose
Yeah,
that fight against Rodtang, but oh my word, he proved to me that this dude is not scared of anything. He's not afraid of being punched or kicked or being bled. And that can make you feel very discouraged as an opponent. If you're hitting him with an elbow and you cash him open and he walks you down with a smile, you ask yourself, is this man real? Is he
yeah.
is he human? You know what I'm saying? It's a scary thing to fight against. So yeah, that's a very big point to make there. I hope that Nabil doesn't get discouraged and actually makes it a nice spectacle for us.
Yeah, because I mean, the more I'm thinking about it realistically, I don't see Nabil finishing Super League, bro. And I think that
Really?
if the fight does go over is it 3 rounds,
Mm-mm, it's 5.
5 rounds? So if the
Yeah,
fight does go the distance, I do think Super League's gonna win it. But yeah, I don't see a finish for him. I think Super League's just way too durable, bro. Like, and it might just be kind of the exposure that I've had to him, but like, I think
yeah,
back immediately to that Takeru fight when he
yeah.
just had like, I don't know how many punches it was unanswered, bro, with his hands down, and he just carried on like nothing happened, bro. So it's very difficult for me to see a finish, bro. I know Nabil is deadly, but yeah, I just
Yeah,
think Super League's gonna show the experience, and yeah,
yeah.
it's gonna be too much for Nabil on the night. All right, BG.
Mhm.
We'll then go to some MMA, and here we have the
Ooh,
flyweight championship on the line. Adriano Moraes, former flyweight MMA champion, record in one championship, 11-5. He has a 73% finish rate last time, out beating Danny Kind by sub. Coming up against Yaya Wakamatsu, who's recording one championship, is 8-4-0. He's on a 3 fight streak. Last time out beating Gilbert Nakatani by
mhm.
unanimous decision. So this is also a rematch, I believe.
Yes,
And Adriano Moraes got it done in the first fight by sub.
yes.
And yeah, so again, another rematch, PG. So
Mhm.
more of the same here, or what are your thoughts?
Yeah, dude, it's hard to me to see Adriano lose. To be honest with you, just not because of he's just the greatest or whatever, but in terms of the in terms of the in terms of the competition, like who he's fighting against in the one championship in that particular division, I don't know if anyone can beat him really. And a lot of the fighters that are in the division is it's rematches for him. So personally, I think this fight is just to give him the title. Yuya Wakamatsu is the right opponent because he's the next in line. I mean, his ranking is very high. I think he's number 2 in the division, if I'm not mistaken. And it makes sense, you know what I mean? Like, he's also gone and he's beat Gilbert Nakatani, and that was a fight for that contendership fight. I watched it live, and I actually expected more from Wakamatsu in that fight, and I wasn't impressed with the performance. To be honest with you, I thought Gilbert was a bit washed out, and he couldn't put Gilbert away. And Gilbert actually but it was quite competitive for him. Gilbert actually forced Nakatani. He actually forced Wakamatsu to strike. You know what I mean? That must tell you something. That means Wakamatsu couldn't even wrestle, which is what his forte is in that fight. And Adriano Moraes probably can take down anybody. He can submit anyone as well. That's what he does. And he beat Danny King very convincingly when he did that in his last fight by submission again. So, yeah, I think we're going to see the same thing. I think Yuya Wakamatsu is going to try and make it competitive with the first minute or so, and then he's going to realize he's fighting against a dog here. And also, Adriano Moraes does have a weight advantage over most of the guys in the flyweight division. Like, he's big for that flyweight division. He was weighing 336 pounds, so that must tell you that is UFC's bantamweight. And he's quite big. He's quite big. So, I mean, he was twice the size of Mighty Mouse almost. So, yeah, I think Adriano Moraes is going to be champion again. So we're going to hear. I think this is going to be a new anyway because it's a vacant
Yeah.
title. So
This
we'll hear
guy's
and
massive.
new. He's
Yeah.
dude, he's big. I watched a lot of the fights of him, and I was like, oh, he towers over most of the dudes in the flyweight. And not only is taller, but he's fuller than them. And he's like, he can just ragdoll the guys with ease. And I think he's going to do that again in this fight because Wakamatsu's best weapon is the wrestling, and he never out wrestled Moraes before. I don't think he can do it. I don't think he can do it now. I don't think he's going to get it right. And he's going to realize he's going to have to strike, and I don't think he want to do that either against Moraes because Moraes can knock you out as well. So I think every avenue in this fight, I think Moraes is just going to be better.
Nicely done, BG Jedi
Yeah,
Knight.
Guys, you.
I'm the champion right here. Hey, we're back, Brazil at it again.
Any
Yes.
thoughts on
Um,
this one, bro? Adriano Moraes versus Yaya Wakamatsu.
yeah, I think it's a good opportunity for both guys to kind of be the champion for Wakamatsu. He was always just kind of outside the top two before TJ
Mm,
retired. Um, and I think he just needs to believe in himself, and it might happen. And then for Moraes, it's also opportunity to prove that and to stamp his kind of legacy on it. You know what I mean? Because before DJ came in there, he was the champ, he
yes.
was the guy, and then DJ obviously beat him and whatever. So now it's kind of made that gate open for him to take back his legacy in this one championship.
Mm. So who you got winning this one, Jedi Knight?
Sheesh, obviously Brazil, bro. I think Reyes probably finishes him like later in the fight.
Yeah,
Sub.
most
Yeah,
likely.
sub.
I can see it. I can
Yeah.
see it. But ladies and gentlemen, drop us a comment in that comment section. Let us know your thoughts here. Is it going to
Yeah.
be the same
Also,
as the first fight or anything different? Jedi Knight.
please, um, try and help us figure out how do we bet on these one championship fights, guys.
Oh, what's that dude's name? Let me get the name here.
Is it?
Benjitsu.
Benjitsu,
Benjitsu.
yeah.
Yeah.
You,
Wait a
for
minute.
Benjitsu, the link to our Discord is in the description box. Get us in the Discord server. Send us the links to where we can bet on these events, please.
Yo, we got a Discord server. Shout out to our Discord server.
Yeesh.
Talking about these things, yeah. Hey, but anyway, so we're all in
Oh,
consensus here. Brazil to get it done.
yeah,
And
Damn.
in that,
Brazil to get it, man. What did I want to
in that,
say now was I just firstly sorry for being late. Secondly,
Nah.
I didn't understand how you can have Superlek on the card and he's not the main event, and he beat both the guys that's in the
That
main
are in the
event.
main. Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's
the main
quite a
event
thing.
isn't
But we
even
are
a
stuck
title fight.
God.
The main event isn't
We
even a
just do what
title
we
fight,
want to
and
do.
there's 5 titles on the line on the
Yes.
card, bro. Which is just
Yeah.
says how
We,
big that fight actually is, bro. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
yeah,
Yes. It's a super fight.
yeah,
Crazy.
Super fight.
yeah.
It's crazy, bro. It's a dream
Um,
fight. It's an
but
It is
yeah,
a
absolute
dream
dream.
fight.
I'm not gonna go back because I'm sure you guys covered it all. So I just wanted to say, yeah, it's quite crazy
Now you
that
can talk about it.
exactly that all that
Give us your
titles
thoughts.
is out there and the main event is not for a belt. Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it's quite crazy.
But give us
Yeah.
your
Anyway,
thoughts
we
of
can
that
keep.
matchup, Jada.
Maybe just pick your winners for us very quickly, Jedi. Let's go
This
to
is it.
Rodtang,
Just
Takeru. Who and why?
uh, bro, for me, sure, it's like a pick 'em fight. You know what I mean? I can see Rodtang kind of controlling the pace and choosing when they engage and winning it that way. But I can also see Takeru putting the pace really high and forcing
Mm,
Rodtang to fight the fast-paced fight, which I
yeah.
think will play in Takeru's favor. Um, so fuck, I don't really know who's gonna win. I don't
Okay.
really know who's gonna win.
Tawanchai versus Noiri.
Ah, nah, this is an easy one, bro. This is,
What did
Tawanchai.
I say, Eddie? What did
I,
I say? Jet's
I think
favorite.
when I was looking at this card, I can see there's gonna be a lot of sad Japanese supporters that night.
Sheesh.
Unfortunately,
Shots
Yeah.
fired.
yeah.
Shots fired.
But yeah, this is gonna be an easy one. I think Thailand's gonna come in and kind of make the stadium their own.
Yeah.
There we go. I like it.
Most
So
likely.
yeah, Superlek and Nabil.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good rematch. I think obviously Nabil wants it back, but I mean, how can you bet against Super League, bro? It's like,
Can't,
are you gonna bet against Floyd? Probably
can't,
not gonna
bro.
do that.
No, it won't.
So,
Can't bet against Superlek if you got taxes
I
to
like
pay, bro.
I like how Jet says super leg instead of super
Superlek,
leg.
yeah.
The kicking machine, super leg.
yeah, bro,
Oh, wait.
it's the best.
Okay, then Superlek. So we all very much in agreement there. But in that case,
I
boys, we
think,
will then keep it moving.
Yeah.
Jedi?
yeah, this is gonna be a very entertaining barn burner fight. Yeah, if there's gonna be one for the fans, I think it's this one. Yeah.
Yeah. I can see
In
that.
that case, we will take it away to the Strawweight Interim Kickboxing Championship title fight where we see Jonathan DeBella, former Strawweight Kickboxing Championship champion, record in one championship, 3-1 and 0, beat Rui Botello by unanimous decision in his last fight. But he is coming up against Sam A. 30 years in the game, a career spanning more than 400 fights. Absolute lunacy. His record
Yeah.
in one championship is 9-3 and
Pero,
0. Former strawweight Muay Thai, former kickboxing flyweight, former flyweight Muay Thai champion. He is the legend, the 41-year-old
just
Sam
showing.
A. Last time beating Zhang Paiman by unanimous decision. Is it too late for a 41-year-old man to make a title run, boys? Is it too late?
Yeah, it's never too late. See, Bob,
It's
No.
never too late.
it's never too late.
Never too late. PG,
Yes,
what's gonna
sir.
happen here, bro? How's this one gonna play out?
Just got change my mic quickly. There we go. Yeah, perfect intro for this fight, eh? Especially the way you describe Sam A. How can you go against that? And particularly because of the way he fought against Zhang Piaman, the
Yeah,
fight, who is literally 10 to 15 years younger than Sam A. And Sam A made him look like he needs to go back to school. You know what I mean? And
exactly.
before that, knocking out, what was his name? What was that dude's name? That Indian guy. Anyway, Sam A's style, his blueprint is perfect. The experience is there. Jonathan DeBilla has one style, and that is pedal to the middle. He goes high pace, high volume all the way. He doesn't take a back foot. He just goes full pace. And sometimes he gets caught that way. When he fought Tawanchai, he got clipped. When he fought Daniel Williams, okay, he won that fight, but Daniel Williams was catching him quite often. And Daniel Williams is also sort of, he's been there, done that kind of athlete. Sam A, there's a reason why he won all those titles. There's a reason why he looked that phenomenal. I mean, the guy can game plan against you, and when he's in there, it's kind of hard to put him away, especially if you look at the way he fought against Zhang. Zhang was trying to put it on him. Zhang was trying to make the pace go and land hard shots, and Sam A looked like he was in the Matrix. He was just dodging
Mm,
sideways, just like
truth.
In the
easy.
Matrix.
Like he was slipping all that shots, and he did it like he made it look easy. You know what I mean? And Jonathan Diabelli won the title from Zhang, and that was a close fight as well. Zhang took it to
Yeah.
Jonathan Diabelli. Jonathan Diabelli, he's a fun fighter. Don't get me wrong. He's really a very good fighter. He's fun to watch, high pace, makes it exciting. But I do think that he's there to be hit, and I think Sam A's got the more precise kind of punch. We compare the two because Tabella is just a lot of wild, fast movement, and hopefully in the line of fire he will land maybe a hook. The easy step back, slip back kind of hook to the body, or maybe land something like that on you. Where Sam A, he's so precise in the way he moves, and when he does throw something, it's precision. So it's going to land clear with a lot of velocity, and I think he's probably going to win the Tabella over the 5 rounds. Just the experience and the know-how to navigate the 5 rounds in the squared circle. It is kickboxing. It's his forte as well. I think Sam May is going to be too experienced there.
Yeah, for me, I think it's going to be more of the same of what we saw in the previous fight against Zhang Parman. I was just too impressed by Sam May in his last fight,
Yeah.
especially at 41 years old. Um, Absolutely clinical, like you said, BG. But Jedi Knight, what are your thoughts here, bruh?
Yeah,
How?
nah, I think um, I'm gonna disagree. I think that old man is done. I think he's gonna get beat. I think it's just too old. The power is going away, and the body doesn't appear the same, and it's
Yeah.
healthier but not as strong. I think he's gonna get beat, bro. Sorry to say, guys.
How
You
do you
gotta
think he
hit
gets
him
it done?
first, bruh.
Hey,
You gotta be
he's
able to
got to
hit
what?
him. You gotta be able to hit him, bruh. That's the thing. Like BG
Well,
said, bruh, the nut
fight.
goes into the matrix. Nothing you can do.
Mine goes to the Matrix, bro. Fair enough, fair enough. We'll see what
But yeah,
Look,
happens.
the key for Jonathan, the ability to win is to stay up in Sam's face, cut the corners, use the footwork advantage, use the speed advantage, overwhelming pressure, and make Sam A fight with the back foot. Those looks good in the eyes of the judges. If you don't get the knockout or the knockdown, you're the one winning the fight. You're going forward all the time. And I think that is Jonathan Diabelli's style. That's how he wins most of his fights. Is by overwhelming the opponent with all the pressure and the wave after wave of attack. Because he's got a very good gas tank, 28 years old, still very young. That's his keys to victory here. But he has to be careful when he enters that line of fire. Sam May is no joke.
no joke indeed,
Yeah.
bruh. 30 years worth of experience. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, let us know in the comments how you think Sam A is going to get this one done. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you, bruh. Okay, keep moving. Keep moving to the Atomweight, ladies Atomweight Kickboxing World Championship. And here we have Phetjeeja coming up against Kana Morimoto. Phetjeeja, the Atomweight Kickboxing champion, is 6-0 in the one championship. She's 4 wins by KO, last time out beating Janet Todd by unanimous decision. Coming up against Kana Morimoto, who is the former K1 champion. Her record in one is 1-1, and she beat Moa Carlson by unanimous decision in her last fight. So, and still PG.
I'm gonna go with N still. I'm not gonna go with NU. The Kana Marimoto's career is built around her just zombifying everybody. She goes in there, she doesn't get knocked out, she takes all the best shots, and then she just Juliana Penny and just walks forward and wins the fight that way because she's the one that doesn't get knocked down and she just overwhelms you with just constant onslaught after onslaught. But I think she's going to come up short against Phetjeeja, the queen, because Phetjeeja, if you beat in Janet Todd is probably one of the best women's Muay Thai practitioners you will ever see, ever. If you go look at that name, go look it up. And she's beat Anissa Mexon, who's also got that same name, same moniker next to her name as well of one of the greatest female combat athletes ever. So, and Phetjeeja beat them both. And Phetjeeja's not even, I think she's 23 years old. She's still a very young dude, and she's going in there looking like she's fought 400 fights as well. The way she utilizes deep kicks, the
What?
power in her. the power in her legs, the way she can crush you, and then she's also not afraid to go into like Tawanchai, get into the line of fire, elbow. She's just flawless a fighter to watch. Big fan of. I'm a really big fan of it, and I'm excited to watch her fight this fight. And I think she's like she said, we're gonna go in there and probably. I hate to say it, it makes my heart also sore because I'm a big Japanese supporter. But I think Japanese fighters are probably gonna come up short in this fight card. Maybe only Takeru is gonna be the one that wins. But I think this is gonna be another fight where the Japanese athlete's not gonna come up as the big player. I think if Kana Morimoto was maybe in the one championship maybe 2-3 years ago, we could be see a different thing here. But he's 32 years old, slowing down a little bit more. If you go watch the last two fights in the one championship, she lost the opening bout to someone that was half her age. And then she fought against Moa Carlson, who was also a top ranked contender in this division, by the way. And that was also sorry, matches. My mic is died. I know it's a unanimous decision, but for me it was a split decision actually because it could have literally gone either way. Moa did really well in that fight. She could have easily made it a win. But there's nothing that kind of did that can make me go, oh, she can actually go and take the Phetjeeja out there. Maybe if she stays in there and zombify and make Phetjeeja fight backwards, or make her fight counter striking for 5 minutes for the 5 rounds, maybe she wins the fight by making Phetjeeja tired after the third round. Phetjeeja can get tired. I've seen her get tired because she packs a lot of weight. She's quite heavy. I can see her maybe getting exhausted coming towards the fourth and fifth round. But at that point of the beat, it looked too late for Kana to win for me. I think Phetjeeja will have already stitched too far on the scorecards for her to be caught up. So yeah, Phetjeeja is going to stay undefeated here.
Give thanks, BG. Jedi Knight. Thoughts on this one, bro?
Just nah, sorry, bro. I was doing something else here now. Doing something else. Where are you? Yeah.
We are Phetjeeja versus
Yeah,
Kana.
but exactly. It's like an old lady that they found somewhere that was a legend once upon a time that they want to put now a show on. And has lost the last two fights, so it's like, why is she even getting a title shot? You know what I mean? Some of these fights, sometimes like that didn't really make sense to me. I was like, oh man, this Japanese person's gonna lose. Yeah, is what it is.
Jed is quickly. You can hear Jed
yeah,
so
I
sad
mean,
for the Japanese fans. He's
they
like,
are
oh.
putting on a show for the Japanese fans.
Yeah, but shame, man. They're gonna make them so they're like making them sad so that they can have a hero at the end at the cost
Takeru.
of
Possibly. I mean, nothing's guaranteed.
Yeah,
It's far from guaranteed, bro. Far from guaranteed.
exactly.
But yeah, drop a comment there, ladies and gentlemen. Like video,
I just want to see
subscribe.
Don Lineker. That's the only reason why I want to watch this. Oh God.
It's the only reason. Should be the main event,
Only
you say.
reason. Yeah. Make him the main
Um,
event next time, guys.
There we go. Jedi Knight dropping some knowledge here. Another guy here.
Yes.
Any final thoughts here, bro?
I mean, I hope that I'm wrong for the Japanese hopeful. I hope that what I'm saying is true. I think Kana, yeah, she's got a really good momentum when she goes forward, but the technique isn't. I don't know. I think Phetjeeja is just way too much. She's defensively sound. She attacks with a lot of precision. She kicks and hits a lot harder than Kana. Yeah, I don't know. I just can't see a world where Kana comes out victorious in this fight.
There we go. You heard it straight from the expert himself, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're placing any bets this weekend, place them on Phetjeeja. But boys, we keep it moving then. And we'll go to a featherweight kickboxing fight. And here we see Marat Grigorian. They couldn't win championship 5-3-0. 3 wins by KO. He has an 80% finish rate. And last time out, he beat Abdelali Zaidi by KO. Coming up against Kaito Ono, 1 championship debut. His record is 58 wins with 26 KOs. So that's about 60%, I think.
This guy.
This guy.
This is what I'm trying to say. This is like one of that fights. It's like, who's this guy, bro?
He looks like a villain from an anime or something.
It's so weird. I was trying to I wasn't sure if it was a lady or not. I was like, is this a lady? But like, who did
Yo,
they get?
That's
Debut
Casper,
fight
bro.
against Masaaki Gorian, who's probably just gonna kickbox all over this guy. They're gonna kickbox all over this guy. Japanese supporters sad again.
unlucky Japan. If we got any Japanese people watching the show, let us know if you disagree with Jedi Knight. But PG, Jedi says he's gonna kickbox all over this man's face, but
Mhm.
maybe in more technical terms, bro. What can you tell us here?
Mhm. That's so funny. The thing about this fight is it's a bit of an unknown for me as well. I mean, did a little bit of research on Kaito Ono. Didn't really see that much fighting tape about his style. I only found out that he fights in shooter box as well, and he's got
Oh,
multiple titles outside of the one championship. And
okay.
I mean, 58 fights and 26 of it is KOs.
Mm.
Yeah, like you said, that's just over 50% of it is winning by finish. I don't know how. With Marat, you know what
Like in
Marat gives you.
franchise.
You know, you know what Marat gives you. He's the kind of guy that powerful, strong. Jed knows very big for the division, for featherweight division,
Well,
and
this
one of
guy is like probably top three kickboxers in the world,
yeah, he's
fighting
a
a
dog.
Japan guy that they found from the disco.
Sure.
So with Marat, you know what he loves to do. He kind of walks you down, establishes the jab, and then once he gets the rhythm going, you'll see him just unload hard body liver shots. Boom, boom, boom. That's what he does. That's how he finishes most of his fights. What I'd love to see more from Marat is to see a little bit more kicks. Can he establish some good kicks other than just a soft low kick to establish his distance and then goes in with the hands again? We know he punches hard. That's his best weapon. But I think if he uses kicks a little bit more, it'll make him even more elite. You know what I mean? That's how he lost against Superman twice, was being out kicked. You know what I mean? So I don't know anything about Uno. I don't know what his best weapon is. I know he fights orthodox. I don't know if he's a power puncher or if he's a power kicker. So I don't want to give a clear cut who's going to win the way Jed did. But we know what Marat Gregorian does. We know what he's going to give you. And if you don't fight back against Gregorian, he's going to finish you. He's going to stop you right then and there. That's what he does. He doesn't win on points. He stops you every time he fights. And
He's gonna kickbox
yeah,
up and down this guy, bro.
yeah, that's what he does, bro. Look, Marat doesn't take a back step. He moves forward all the time. And yeah, you need to meet him fire with fire because if you don't, he's just going to bully you.
Mm, mm. Yeah, look, myself, I don't know anything about this Kaioto guy. But do you guys remember the game Streets of Rage?
Yes.
Wait, looks like
He's
looks
not
like
in
a
the
villain.
blood.
It's like a bro out of Streets of Rage, man. It's like a
Uh,
Super
character from
villain.
Streets of Rage. I mean, like one of the villains from Streets of Rage. So yeah, not too
yes,
much
bro.
we can tell you here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Relatively unknown, but if you do have any inside information, be sure to let us know in the comments. Okay, boys. In that case, we'll keep moving to the next fight. PG, I think you were talking about this one just before we went on air. It's an atomweight Muay Thai fight. Here we have Rak Erawan coming up against Nagata Yoshinari. Rak Erawan is 5-3-0 in the one championship. He has 2 wins by KO, 2 by TKO with an 80% finish rate. Last time out, beating Coco by TKO in his last fight. Coming up against the foresaid Nadaka Yoshinari, who is making his one debut. But he is, of course, a 5 division champion and has formerly held Lupini, PAT, WMC, WPMF, WBC, and IBF titles. So there's, there's not really much that you can say. You can't really question his credentials. The man sounds like an absolute killer. You can't argue with those numbers. PG, what can you tell us
Dude,
here, bro?
and he's only 24 years old. How did he do all of this?
Stacking the
24
deck,
years
bro.
old. What
Yeah,
is he doing? But yeah, I'm excited for the fight, particularly because of the weight class 80. It's atomweight Muay Thai for men. So
yeah.
if anyone knows in one championship, this division is very new. There's no champion in this division. They're busy filling it up with a bunch of athletes. So pay attention to the fighters. That whenever you see Atomweight Muay Thai, pay very close attention to that fight because that's usually you're gonna see those names more frequently because they're looking for contenders. They're looking for the top 10, the top 15, the championships. You know what I mean? Before we can see a title fight in this division. So I think this exact fight is gonna do something like that. I think the one championship is probably expecting another guy to get the job here so that we can have another division with another champion. I know it's not a title fight, but I mean, if Naraka Yoshinori wins this fight, he's probably gonna get a title fight next. You come into the
Sure.
organization with that amount of titles, that means you're gonna have to. That means you're gonna have to compete for a title very soon, right? Because you can make an argument as the guy who comes into the organization as the former champion. Rak Irawan has become a fan favorite for me. I like his style. I like the way he fights, especially when I saw him fight against Chai. I know he lost that fight, but that's coming from my head. And I thought it was an exciting fight. And I liked that it was built up because that was a contacted fight. So the winner was going to get the contact, and he lost that fight, unfortunately. I think this fight for Irawan, if he gets the job done here over a guy like Yoshinari, who's got all their titles, he can almost guarantee himself a contract after this, right? So it's a lot to riding on this fight for sure. Do I think Rak's gonna win? I'm not so sure. You know what I mean? I haven't seen Yoshinari fight, but I mean, how do you argue against all that championships, AD?
You can't.
How do you against it? You know what I mean? And I have seen Rak lose before, and he's taken losses when someone just out volumes him, makes him fight backwards. Because Rak does really well when he's in flow state, like most athletes. He goes really, he looks like a phenomenal fighter when he's moving forward and he's fighting at his pace. But I'm just not so sure if we're going to see him get it done here against Yoshinari. Eh? I think Rak is going to have to. He's going to have to be very, very competent, keep his hands up very high. He's going to have to be defensively sound in this fight. I expect Nadaka to go in there and do what champions do.
Nicely done, BG. I mean, just look at this kid, bro. He said he's how old is he? 16.
24. No, 24.
Yeah. I'm
He looks like
joking
he's
because
16.
he looks like he's 16 years old, bro. And the man has more titles than I've had girlfriends, bro, to be honest. So it's crazy.
And if you look at his record, if you bring up his topology page on screen, you will notice that there's no losses. There's a couple of cancelled bouts. There's a couple of no contests. Right? It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 no contests. 1, 2, 3 cancelled bouts, and the rest is all just wins. And it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36 wins before coming into this fight. 36 wins, no losses, a couple of no contests.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I mean,
You
it's
know what
not
I
looking
mean?
good. It's not looking good for my guy Rakpe, is it?
I'm
This
a
is
bit scared
crazy.
for Rak, and I'm a big Rak fan, but I'm a bit worried for him in this 180. I am. I'm a bit worried
This is a
here.
crazy, crazy record. I think we might have just unlocked a new mythical fighter here, ladies and gentlemen. A new mythical fighter unlocked.
Achievement unlocked.
Okay, but of course, let us know your thoughts on that one, ladies and gentlemen. Very interested to
And
see
also,
this.
80.
Mm.
Sorry to interrupt you, my friend. You also notice on that record list, there weren't many gaps in between fights. He was fighting. It was like back to back, back to back, back to back. He was just going. There was no like 2-year, 3-year layoff at all. He was just going 3, 4 fights a year. Look there.
Fighting high school kids.
Look at this, bro.
Possibly.
3 days
and
later.
stuff.
Kaito
Maybe.
Naito is in the one championship already. He's a high credentialed athlete.
Yeah,
Look at
nah,
this.
this one's been crazy active, bro.
Look there, 2024. How many fights is that in 2024? Bro, it's a lot of fights.
It's probably like 10.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Oh,
nah, it's nothing to play with. He probably had about 10 fights in 2024, bro. That's insane. So
you
yeah,
know what I mean?
very, very dangerous looking guy here. And yeah, best of luck to Rak tonight. We'll definitely be watching.
Good
Some
job.
fascinating
Put
fight,
the photo up
boys.
of him again and say it.
Hey?
Put the photo up again of that dude.
Oh, you want to see him?
So say it again. He's a very what?
He's a very,
Mythical
Dangerous fighter. This
Oh,
guy.
yeah,
very
dangerous.
dangerous fight. Yeah, this
Yeah,
guy, bro.
even AD was like, he looks like he's 16 years old.
Yeah, bro. 16. But anyway, very dangerous looking fighter. His record speaks for itself. There's not really much that we can say. But there is a lot that we can say for this next fighter coming up here, boys. This is a bantamweight kickboxing fight. Jedi Knight. It's your boy, John Link, coming back once more.
Brasil!
Bantamweight kickboxing fight. John Lineker is 8-3-0 in the one championship. 4 wins
I
by
need hog
KO,
hands.
75% finish rate. Last fight lost to Kulab Dam by unanimous decision. Coming up against Hiroki Akimoto, former Bantamweight kickboxing champion. Record in one championship, 6-4-0, 3-fight losing streak, and desperately needing a win. Probably looking for it in the wrong place, if you ask
Yeah.
me. But Jedi Knight, tell us how your boy gets it done here, bro.
With his hands of stone, obviously. I mean, watching a guy that's on a 3-fight losing streak. What are they trying to do to the Japanese people here, bro? It's like making them really sad. But I mean, I don't need to say much. I feel like first round KO here.
Yeah, I mean, look, bro, why are you so surprised, bro? It's John Lineker, bro. This man can put anyone down, but I see it's going to be more like a 3 knockdown type of thing.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he's going to KO him, pull out, because it is the
Yeah,
bigger gloves. But
exactly.
he's the hands of stone, so you never know. BG,
Mhm.
thoughts,
Yeah.
please. Sir?
Yeah, I'm a bit different to the lads. I can see why John Lineker can get the job done. I get it, but Eddie, that's a very good point about the glove change. It's not Muay Thai. When John Lineker was knocking people out like that, we watched before, that was in the sport of gloves. It's MMA and Muay Thai. This is kickboxing. Akimoto is the former champion. I know his 3 losses back to back. I watched him actually win the title, and I thought, oh, fantastic fighter, pure K cushion karate style in the kickboxing gloves. That's deadly. And if you look at those 3 losses that he lost against, it was all by decision. No one knocked him out, and that was against Wei Rui, against Elias Anahachi, and Pictanong as well, who were 3 top dogs when it comes to kickboxing. Right? None of them were able to put him away.
They don't have a hand of stone.
And Anahachi did drop Akimoto in that fight, but Akimoto came back and made it a spectacle afterwards. He's very durable. He's also very powerful. He kicks beautifully, and he also has very good leg stoppages in kickboxing. So, yeah, I think John Lineker, for me, the biggest thing John Lineker is going to have to fight in this fight is his gas tank more than the actual fighter. Because I think if he comes into round 2 and 3 and he didn't put Akimoto away in round 2 and 3, he's going to have a very
Yeah.
long night after that.
The only way this guy wins, that other guy, is if he runs away the whole time. That's real. Only way.
Yeah,
true, bro.
I don't know. I don't know.
You can just, but if he
John
stands in
Lineker,
front of God, he's gonna go to sleep, my friend. He's gonna
you
go
see, John
down.
Lineker has a habit of going balls to the wall too early, man. And then you find at the end of the round, at the end of the last round, you see him start to fade. And I don't like that of him, because that's when he starts losing the fights,
Bruh,
man. And and Akimoto is hard to put away, guys. He's very tough. He's a very tough dog. But
he's
I
gonna
can see
get knocked
Lineker.
out if he stands in front
If
of John.
Lineker wins
Bruh,
by stoppage, eh?
do you want to watch a Ferrari going 70, or do you want to watch a Ferrari going 270?
Do you want to watch that?
Exactly. John Lineker.
John Lineker, bro.
I don't know, eh?
Can't
I'm a
argue
bit.
with, bro.
I don't know. I just worry about the fact that it's not small gloves, man. It's bigger gloves, and Lineker attacks the body before he goes to the head, and he might come up short here, man. I think he might get out. It's not a title fight. It's only 3 rounds, so he's gonna have to go hard, all the way, and
The guy's
that's
gonna
how
have to run fast.
that's how he's gonna win the fight. But if he doesn't, and Akimoto is very good. He's very good defensively. He can survive, and I mean, if he chops Lineker's legs early, you could see an early night for Lineker, bro.
This guy.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I don't believe it, Jedi.
This
He
is
looks
number
like
one bullshit.
he looks like an actor.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's see.
bro.
Let's see.
He's a
Let's see.
paid
Oh,
actor,
goodness.
bro. He's a paid actor, this guy.
I mean, keys to victory for Akimoto: chop the legs, set up the hands later. Lineker, get the job done in the first 2 rounds.
Agreed.
And run
Via
away.
knockout. Put the pressure on Akimoto, make him fight backwards. Get into the void, get the Dempsey roll going, and make Akimoto fight a dog fight. Akimoto in the past has had a habit of getting very emotional when he gets knocked down. Then he just bites down and walks forward, and that can be very risky against someone like
You
Lineker.
must try that against
Bruh.
John Lineker. You must try that, bro. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, drop us a
Brazil.
comment, like the video, let us know your thoughts on this one. But okay, boys, we'll keep it moving then, and we'll go to a flyweight Muay Thai bout. Here we see Yodlek Pet coming up against Shimon.
Jesus.
Why are you laughing, bro?
You like the way
Yeah,
Shimon
this
looks.
is-
Yodlek Pet is 6-4-0 last time out, losing to Zhao Suyai by KO.
Yeah.
Coming up against Shimo, who is 1-0 in the one championship, beat Reddit by TKO in his last fight. So not too much that I can tell you here, ladies and gentlemen, but someone who can, of course, BG.
Yeah, you're like big, powerful guy. Like come on with strong. He knocks people out left, right, and center. Not the most what's the word, high volume kind of striker, but when he does hit you, like John Lineker, it's coming with the kitchen sink. He's gonna try and knock you out with every move that he does. Built like a fucking truck. And yeah, I was very impressed to see how Jao Siak beat him because Jao Siak deployed the game plan to beat someone like Ludwig Pitt. And that's in and out movement, move laterally, don't stay in the pocket for too long, don't get into a gunfight for too long.
yeah.
You strike him, get out. Don't stay there where you want to look for maybe an extra shot to put him away
Mm.
because that's when he's gonna knock you out. That's how Ludwig Pitt knocks people out. So Shimon, on the other hand, is young, very cool fighter, very creative. He beat Reddit also a very good striker. But only one fight to go off. He's 20 years old. He's very much small for flyweight. I think he should actually go fight Atomweight, to be honest with you. And I think Yodek Pitt's going to go out there and probably knock him out within the first round, maybe second round as well. We could probably going to see a
Yeah,
very
the
scary knockout
I
here.
think this actually might be one of the fights that Japan can win.
Oof,
If
I don't know.
how do you say this guy's name?
Which one?
Yoshinari. Yoshinari.
Shimon.
Yeah, Shimon. If Shimon stays calm and fights a kind of experienced grown up fight. But if he goes there and he goes one
He's the
for
younger
one,
fighter.
he's going to get beat. Yeah. And
Yeah, he's
He
going
is
to
the
have to
younger
beat.
fighter, so hopefully he shows
he
some
looks like
maturity
he's
there.
Takeru here. He
He
looks like
does
he's
look
very
quite high.
stoned.
He does.
He looks very high. He looks very high.
Yeah. Look, he's gonna have to take a page out of Jausiai's book here. He's gonna have to be light on the balls of your feet. You're gonna have to be moving a lot, stay on your bike. Don't get into the firefight for too long because yeah, like I
Yeah,
said, your leg pick can knock you out quick.
don't fight the kickboxing fight here, bruh. You're gonna lose.
You know, I think he might get knocked out here.
Fair comment, boys. And of course, leave a comment for us in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen. But, boys, we are approaching 1 hour of recording time, so we are
Mhm,
Yeah,
going
let's
to
go,
wrap it
let's
up
go, let's
on this
go.
fight. We have
Let's go.
Zakaira Al Jamari coming up against Hugh. Zakaria Al Jamari record in one championship is 1-3-0. He's on a
This is the other
two-fight
fight
side.
Japan can win.
Lost to
Yeah.
Johan Estepinian by KO in his last fight, coming up against the Japanese Hugh, who is 2-0, one win by TKO last time out, beating Leandro Menanda by TKO in his last fight. So again, not too much I can say here. Jedi, any knowledge on these guys?
Nah, not really.
Fair.
I know that they
PG,
both suck.
take us home here, bro.
I don't know about the both suck. I'll definitely say that Zachariah sucks. I mean, he lost to Stupinan.
Yeah, he
We actually
sucks bad.
we watched that fight together, and like Stupinan was dancing on him, bruh, schooling him.
Yeah, he's
Um, yeah, he's not that great,
he's
and not
yeah.
anymore. At least I think he's but washed, 35 years old, and then the record has 1 win, 3 losses in the one championship. That's not good, bro. You know what I mean? You're taking puck here. And as for you, I actually like this dude. I'm a big fan. I think he's really creative. He's an up and comer. If I'm not mistaken, I think Superbon's also in his corner. Either Superbon or Tawanchai is in his corner. One of the two guys are in his corner. So he's coming out of a big camp. This is kickboxing. That's what he does best. He actually fought 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, and he had a very good performance. It's a very short fight. That's why he's fighting again. And he's a Japanese up and coming star. So I think we're going to see you go in there and put on a sort of a game Street Fighter performance. He's going to make it look like it's a video game because that's how he
Yeah,
fights.
he's definitely gonna win, but this
He's
guy goes
creative.
to sleep quite often.
Zachariah fights like that, man. He puts himself in the fight where he
He's
goes
not.
to sleep a lot,
He's
and he
very
doesn't have a good.
dramatic.
Exactly. He's very dramatic, and he doesn't keep his hands up when he goes into into the void. He hands tend to drop a
Mm.
lot, and I don't like that, and that's where he gets clipped. So I think Yu is going to go in there and get his hand raised by. I think he's actually going to stop Zachariah. I think he's going to stop him.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. But okay, boys. In that case, we will wrap it up.
And I
So as
say,
always, yeah, BG.
I just want to talk about just very quickly. It's not gonna. I'm not gonna give a prediction for any of it. I just think that Sudan Leka's opening fight for the card is amazing. I expect a knockout in that fight. And then the one fight I wanted to touch base on, it's a bit of a fanfare kind of thing. It's two legends. So if you scroll up to the fight after John Lineker, so even Adrian Lee, by the way, it's also a good fight to see the Lee family back in the one
Yeah.
championship. Haven't seen Lee guys fight in a while, and he's been in two fight winning
Oh
streak.
shit.
So big ups to
Old
him.
school fight. The over
But this
40s.
fight, there we go. Go down, 80. Go down. There we go. This is an over 40 fight between the two legends. Edward Faluyang fought against Shinya Yoki three times before this, winning only one of those three fights. Shinya Yoki won the other two by submission. This is going to be the fourth time he
Legacy
does it.
fight here.
So yeah, big fight for the fans there. We're probably going to see Shinya Yoki again win by submission.
Woo!
And I'll end it over there. Eddie.
GFL, GFL, GFL. Let's go.
That's
Your
I'll conclude it
grandpa's
there.
favorite fight league. All right, give thanks, BG. BG keeping you right up to date with the rest of the card there, as well as the more senior athletes on the card. Uh, but okay, boys, I'm gonna go as always to final thoughts here and a rating. And before you give a rating, let me just say this is not a 10. I don't know what more you want here,
Yeah.
boys. All right, BG, let us know.
Yeah, no, exactly what you said. I'm saying a 10 as well. It's been an anticipating card from when they announced it last year. And to see that there's five title fights, it's just massive. And yeah, I'm looking forward to crashing the numbers again this week with our live. Very excited. So thank you to One Championship for putting together probably one of the best cards you're going to see all year.
Let's go. I'll say
Yeah.
BG. Jedi Knight.
Um, yeah, nah, same, bro. Legendary card. I don't think we'll ever get to see such a talent pool on one card
Mm.
for a very long time, especially all these champions. And thanks to the one championship, I wouldn't be shocked if it's like some kind of traditional holiday. That's why they kind of doing it, because it's like a card you put on into the year. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah,
mm. It's
that's
a
true.
celebration. It's a celebration of
Yeah,
combat sports, gents. There's not really much more that we can say. Absolutely.
yeah.
So yeah,
Thanks.
tens all across the board here from us, ladies and gentlemen. But if you have made it this far in the video, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and watch the podcast every day. Go Rogan.
Then it's a
We're gonna wrap
time,
it
bro.
up.
Send us the link there for the betting site, bruh.
Send us a link for the
Don't
betting
be that
site.
guy.
Don't forget to tune into the live streams. We're going to be live for 172, probably be live at about 8:30 a.m. on Sunday morning. Also live for UFC London at about, let's say, 5 p.m. all South African time. That is, of course, on Saturday evening. But okay, from myself, BG, BB, Jedi Knight, all of us here at the Fighting with Friends
Yes,
conglomerate.
guys.
We'll see you
It's time
on the
to
live
roll.
stream.
Time to
Have a
roll.
great week, everyone. Bye bye.